Here we are at St. James Parish on our last day of Cathedral Tour 2022. And we have seen, I think, 40, 50 churches. We've probably gone into like 35. So we've interviewed probably 20, 30 people. We've videoed people, 21. And all through it all, Heidi, you've been through it, every bit of it. And I wonder if you can talk a little bit about what are some of your strongest impressions of all this whole experience. What are your most vivid memories of our travels and learning about cathedrals in England and France?
I think first of all, it was almost circular. We started off arriving on a Friday and then Saturday going to see Ling Ling Wei at the Tate Modern, which was so wonderful to just kind of start us off in almost a meditative labyrinth state. And seeing what is possible and what's to come at Grace Cathedral. And then our first Sunday, having breakfast and then going to church with Dean Eisen, David and Hillary, and it kind of like almost circular, ending it this week with them in Evensong. And it's he's done now, he's retired. So it's kind of almost his full circle in the 40 days and 40 nights is what I call it. We were here for 6 weeks, which is 42 days, but if you have a day on each side for travel, 40 days and 40 nights of not necessarily being in a desert, but definitely being renewed and seeing things that I've never seen before in my life, but also just giving us some new perspective and I don't know.
Well, we went to church like pretty much every day. We went to church like 3 times some days. I mean, so much worship. And you know, English people, I don't know if you felt like this way, but there is a way in which they're so reserved. They're trying hard not to be critical. But what would you say is their message to us? If we took all those data points, all those conversations, what is their message to the church in North America and around the world?
I think they like to see how we're similar and we're the same. And then we're all trying to, we came here with a mission of actual questions that we were asking them, which is, how did you guys survive and get through the pandemic? And we're still kind of walking through it as well. The online experience, and then our new visitor experience, which here they've been doing for years. Like Ely Cathedral's been doing it since like the 80s, I think. So charging for admissions and things like that. So really learning from them what they already have been really good at. But also just suffering for them too, like the Canterbury and St. Paul's and Westminster, which rely 80% of their budget is relied on global, tourism and the visitor experience, and so the pandemic was really rough for them.
Yeah.
But then also just this whole new, fresh, I think Suffolk Cathedral, just this new online experience that just a lot of new watchers and participants. And I don't think that you are necessarily now just part of the church that you physically go to. You can be a part of several different churches. Church membership isn't just who's in the pews, which is kind of an interesting thought. And I think we've been thinking about that ourselves at Grace Cathedral, but just to see it happening here at the cathedrals in the UK. And we also toured churches as well. In fact, St. James Church here is right here in Piccadilly Circus, and it's where they just filmed Bridgerton, and stuff. So it's not necessarily a cathedral, but it is so open, and it's always got concerts, and people are here having lunch, and it's just very welcoming.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many great things that happen. I wonder if you could just talk about just kind of a few of your memories that are kind of sticking out. They don't have to be church things. They can just be anything.
Oh, well, I loved Ely Cathedral. I think that was really
cool.
Fun for me to see the crowns and the gowns and then where they film things. I was really excited about seeing that because they also have the Jubilee oak table. We arrived here right after the Queen's Jubilee, and so it was really, really nice to see that. So that was a really fun one.
The oak table has enormous trees that started growing 3,500 years ago. And the trees fell down into a bog and were preserved. So they're trees that are so much larger than any modern trees because human beings cut down big trees like that.
Yeah, it's always wonderful to think about like what these trees have seen in their lifetime. We had an amazing experience in Chartres. So when we went to France, not only did we get to spend time with Lauren Artress and do the labyrinth, but we also met Gabriel Loire's wife and his grandson, and it was really cool to see some of the art that Gabriel Loire did beyond the stained glass, and there was just such a connection there as well.
There are lots of new friends we made, but the guard is starting to close down the churchyard, and they're giving us the signal that it really is time to tap out, to say Hui Ho, to say aloha. And we're so grateful to all our friends in the UK, all the people back home. So many people made this possible. We're really grateful to them.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
My name is Malcolm Clemens Young. I'm here with Heidi Ho. I'm the Dean of Grace Cathedral in San Francisco, California. Thanks for watching More Good News. I love that little wave at the end.